Hi guys, in this part of Time Drive podcast, we will be talking about Volkswagen, and you can see on the screen we have Mr. Ashish Gupta, who is director of Volkswagen India. Thank you so much for taking out time for us, sir. और पॉडकास्ट का फॉर्मेट इज नॉट एग्जैक्टली लाइक इंटरव्यू इंटरेक्शन, so थोड़ा सा हम लोग इधर उधर भी डिबेट करेंगे, सो थोड़ा सा पेशेंस आपको हमारे साथ रखना
Sure,
पड़ेगा.
sure. It's always a pleasure to be interacting with you.
परफेक्ट, थैंक यू सो मच. एंड आपके इस न्यू पोस्ट के बाद, न्यू वेंचर के बाद बहुत कम हमारी मुलाकात. आई थिंक वी जस्ट मेट वंस और ट्वाइस. आई वाज इन लाइक डिलेमा. सबसे पहले व्हाट शुड आई आस्क?
Any question is a good question, Kranti. So fire away.
So perfect. So Taigun कब आ रही है, and what your plans? अभी तक क्या क्या तैयारी चल रही है?
So I think last month, not last month, March में जब हमने interaction किया था, तो the timing for Taigun remains the same, right at the heart of the festive season. That's our plan, and that's on track. Yeah, there are of course a lot of challenges currently, which we can see all around. But luckily, with the effort of all our team on the plant side, on the engineering side, we have been able to keep our plans for the introduction of the Taigun on track.
So last year I got to understand, which is that the festive season starts around August. So I assume August के आसपास we'll be seeing Taigun.
Yes, that's what we are targeting. Yes.
Perfect. And we also seeing lots of pressure as far as manufacturing and logistics are concerned. Second wave की वजह से, तो उसकी वजह से there is no delay, you saying?
देखिए, challenges तो बहुत सारे हैं, but ये हमारे लिए बहुत important launch है for the entire group, not only our brand but our sister brand as well. So I think the whole company and the whole system has worked to make sure that we do not have any delays in the launch of these products. I think we had some the preparation was very good in terms of localization, in terms of getting all the logistic supplies in place. So that is very much in place right now. Yeah, so I do not foresee any challenges in launching this. That's not to say that there are not challenges, but I think the team is handling it admirably.
And when do you how do you see this wave in the market post second wave? Because first wave we didn't know much, but still we had some kind of reading. The number of cases or the way the graph was going, but this time it is all totally different. So how do you foresee the market, like maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line?
So Kranti, to talk about the next 6 months, I would first take you to the first 3 months of this year. Yeah, the first 3 months of this year were almost 43% above 2020 first quarter. 2020 was an aberration, so may not be the right comparison. But thankfully for us, and the good news was that the first quarter was 13% above 2019 Q1 as well. So demand was very robust for the first quarter, and we saw a dip in April, but still the wholesales from the industry was higher than last year. Yeah. So in terms of demand, I think the pause that has been provided by the lockdowns in May, and to some extent, I would say part of June as well, I think the industry will be able to make up with the robust demand that existed, that we saw in the quarter one of this year as well, and of quarter four of last year as well. Yes, it will have an effect on the overall yearly forecasts, but still, I would say we will end up much higher than last year.
And you see down trading also in your portfolio, people going for smaller vehicle, or in the market. You think that this is what will happen again?
So that is a trend we are waiting to see right now, Kranti, because frankly, for the last 1 month, there hardly has been any business. So once business starts opening up, I would say that that is when we have to observe the trends. But looking at what people have been through, I would definitely expect that the used car market, first of all, will pick up much more than the new car, because the expenses on healthcare, the general sentiment for most of the people has been negative over the last 1.5 months. So it will take a little bit time for the sentiment to pick up, and that is why you would see much more traction happening in used cars, because personal mobility still remains a very much a focus area for customers in this, just from the safety point of view. Yeah. So used cars will pick up first and then move on to the momentum in new cars.
So what are your thoughts on as a brand as far as used cars are concerned?
So for used cars, we are very well placed. We have been focusing on this vertical, in fact, for the last 2 years. Our entire network is equipped to handle used cars and deal with the used car business, whether it is Volkswagen or any brand in the market. So we basically, all our dealers are multi-brand used car dealers as well. What we saw with this focus last year was that our used car sales actually jumped by almost 3 times compared to 2019. And this year, our plan is to double that from 2020 as well. So I'm looking at basically, selling close to 20 to 25,000 used cars this year, which would be double of my volume last year. So definitely very, very well placed. We have taken a lot of, measures to make this happen. Including the network setup, including digitalizing all touch points in the used car as well, including retraining all our people, rebranding. So a lot of efforts have been taken to make sure that we provide value to the used car customer.
Other than infrastructure, Indian customers are also they are also looking at electric vehicles in a different manner, compared to the global customers.
I think the challenge for electrification in India typically remains accessibility or affordability. Yeah, at the price points that we are talking about electric vehicles globally, it would not lead to mass electrification in India. So a lot has to happen over the next 4 or 5 years to actually electrification to take ground on a mass level in India, and that's what will happen. The good thing, if you see from an electrification point in India, is the kind of infrastructure that is being set for two-wheelers, for example. Yeah, because globally we have seen the electrification wave starts with two-wheelers, goes on to commercial vehicles, and then comes into passenger vehicles. Yeah, so once over the next 4 or 5 years, the basic infrastructure, and when I say basic infrastructure, I mean battery manufacturing technology, battery manufacturing capabilities are set up in India, that would give a good platform for electrification to take ground in the passenger cars as well.
Cool. Now, few questions from our colleague Kritika wanted to understand why similar names for your products. Don't you think it'll confuse the customers?
Yeah, so globally our SUV portfolio goes by the T, and it is very apt because they're engineered to a T. Yeah. And I think customers are smart enough to differentiate between the names. The one big differentiator will be the price.
Yeah, that is another question. How do you think Kushaq and Taigun would be customers would be differentiating between these two? What are the USPs according to you?
Okay, so if you look at the products, everybody knows the platform is same, but what we have tried to do is give them very, very different design languages and also have very different positioning of these products. Yeah, you would have seen these two products in various media reviews and everything. The cars look dynamically different. Yeah, very, very differentiated from each other, both on exterior and interior. So from the VW point of view, we have tried to make our positioning more towards the sporty positioning. I can't speak about Škoda's positioning, but we are looking at actually going for customers who are upwardly mobile, dynamic. Yeah, so that's the kind of positioning we are looking for, and that is why we have the exclusive GT line as well. The GT also in our portfolio for the Taigun. So that's I think from a product differentiation and positioning differentiation, what you can do. At the end of the day, the customer has to see the value he gets with each brand. And that's where your customer experience also comes into play. So our endeavor will be to make sure that we have a very holistic approach to the entire product, which of course forms the center of our strategy. But the customer experience around it is what the customer is buying.
And I know you don't have much time, but the one question which is Sadabahar evergreen question, why is Polo so late?
Why is Polo
so late? And the new Polo for Indian, because so many hatchback enthusiasts, they keep waiting for this Polo. Why Volkswagen is not serious about it?
Okay, so we still have the Polo in India. Polo is not going anywhere. I think your question is more related to when is the new Polo coming to India? So, it's a question of business case again, Kranti, I'll be very honest. With the kind of sub-4 meter rules that exist in India, for us to bring the new global Polo into India is a very, very difficult business case. The kind of engineering required to bring it to sub-4 meter and thus affordable hatchback kind of prices is very difficult. Yeah. But having said that, the new platform that we have, the A0, the MQB A0 IN platform, is very amenable to different body styles. So at all meetings, at all discussions internally, the option to bring a hatchback on the same platform is always open. It will be a question of when does it make business sense, and when I say business sense, for us and for the customer as well.
And one extra question: what about sedans? Just above Polo, what are your thoughts on that? The Vento segment.
Yeah, so that segment has been under pressure, no doubt. But I think there is a lot of room available in that segment for a differentiated product. And when I say a differentiated product, if you see the customer movements over the last 4 or 5 years, customers are looking for a complete and a bigger package. And that's why you see movement towards the SUVs also happening. So that's what our endeavor will be, that when we come out with our sedan, and we are very strong globally in the sedan segment, that these are our bread earners globally. So we will be bringing a product which is clearly differentiated in the sedan segment and provides that kind of an aspiration to the customer. I see a lot of potential in that segment with the right product.
So that will be also kind of twin product from Skoda Volkswagen both?
That's our strategy going forward. Yeah, at least on the MQB A0 IN platform. Surely that's our strategy. We are going to play as two brands.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ashish. And guys, in case you have some questions, I'll try and share it with Ashish, because this is a recorded interaction. So in case you have some questions, aap zarur bhijiye. And right now, thank you so much, Ashish, for taking out time for Times Time.
Thank you, Kranti. Always a pleasure.